Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. This being the third Saturday of the month, that means that Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro is in the studio. Good morning again, Frank.
Good morning again, Larry, and good morning, everybody.
And Frank's can't wait to get out and get to the duck blind this morning, and we'll get him out of here right after 7:30 when we roll out of here. But we've had a quick start to the show, of course, talking to Ernie Lentz about the 25th annual Physically Challenged Deer Hunt going down at Arca Butler coming up in the first weekend of December, and that's always an inspiring thing. And you folks know out there that I like to do a lot of diversity on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I do.
You're right. You are.
I'm Mr. Diversity, that's for sure, because I think that the outdoors covers a lot of things. I might even have a guest I'm working on right now that is the world's fastest man sprinter at the age of 82. Now, he runs outdoors, so I may do that. He's formerly from Memphis, and I'm working on getting him on the show. He may run in here and run out, but I like that. But, you know, we also have a great tie-in with the Cornell lab on ornithology up in New York. Pat Leonard has always got us some great guests. I have lots of things. And we're going to talk to a young lady right now about a project that I think is very interesting. It started back on November the 14th. It's the 29th season for this project, and it's called Project Feeder Watch. And we're happy to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray the person who is the project leader on this, and that is Emma Greig. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning, Larry. It's great to be here.
Well, thanks for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And tell my listeners out there throughout the Mid-South area, and whether you're in North Mississippi, East Arkansas, or West Tennessee, what is Project Feeder Watch?
Well, this is a project in which it's quite simple. We just ask people to count the birds that visit their bird feeders.
Yep.
And there are some 50 million people in the United States and Canada feeding birds. And so to have just a few of those people writing down what they see and sending that data to the lab is such an extremely hopeful way of letting us learn about what's happening to the bird populations in North America.
And you're particularly, I noticed some figures there from the western states and, of course, the eastern states. We're familiar with a lot of these that why the rise in certain numbers of birds, like the northern cardinals, the red-bellied woodpeckers, and, of course, the Carolina wrens. There's been an increase in population in these birds.
There sure has. That's been one of the most conspicuous patterns across many of the common feeder birds that people who participate in Feeder Watch observe and count. And there are some really cool papers coming out now that are suggesting that it might have to do with warming winter temperatures. So more mild winters allow those birds to stay north throughout the year. It's also possible that the billions of pounds of bird seed that we're all putting out for these granivorous species is helping them get through the winters. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to look at in a broad way using Feeder Watch data. So stay tuned for upcoming papers about our granivorous friends in North America.
And it kind of blew my mind on the numbers-wise. 20,000 feeder watchers?
That's right. Although that's 20,000 feeder watchers out of the 50 million people feeding birds. So there's still a lot of room for more people to learn about the program and give it a try. And now's a good time to do it because, like you said, the program just started for this season, this past Saturday. So now's a great time to sign up and give it a try.
And it'll run through, what does it run through?
It goes through April.
Okay.
And it's a real flexible counting protocol. We ask that everyone counts birds in the same way, but there are no requirements about how much time you have to spend doing it. So even if you only counted birds 1 or 2 weekends out of the entire winter, that is still a wonderful little snapshot of data for your particular location. So I just want to emphasize that it's not a big time commitment. You really can turn the program into whatever you want to make of it when you participate.
Make it your own time. I mean, you're not any certain time. And again, we're talking to Emma Greig. She is the project leader for Project Feeder Watch with the Cornell Lab of Ornithology out of Ithaca, New York. And I know that I was looking at this, Emma, and we've talked to a lot of folks. We talked to the Crow Man himself. One of my favorite guests on here, and I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, he's
must have been Kevin, right?
That's Kevin.
McGowan.
That's it, Kevin. Yeah, one of my favorite guests, and I had a senior moment there for a minute. But
That man loves crows. I'm telling you, I've been on the show with him before.
Yeah, you have, and well, Emma loves birds. Emma, you told me that. Now, so you were born in Michigan, right?
That's right, Michigan.
And you came to the lab after working in Australia?
I came to the lab to work in Australia, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I did a postdoc here on fairy wrens, which are this cool little songbird that lives in Australia. There are about 9 different species. So I ran around Australia studying their songs and their plumage.
What a life! How long were you in Australia?
I would go for a couple months at a time every winter, so it was pretty nice. Let me tell you.
When you leave Ithaca in the winter, I would go to Australia too. I think it gets a little cold up there, but then all of a sudden you came back and had a chance to work with students on desert birds and things along this line. What's it like to work for the lab there?
Oh, it's so great. And, after working in Australia through the lab and then starting this job managing Feeder Watch, I just have to say that if there's one common thread through what may seem like disparate trajectories, the lab is such a wonderful place to work. There are so many brilliant people here and so many interesting research opportunities for students and for just scientists.
It's amazing.
So
It's just amazing what you guys do, and you've also thrown in. And I love when I get I'm on the website, and so I get posts of photographs, unbelievable photographs that people take, and you actually have a bird spotter photo contest, right?
We sure do. That just started as well, and there are some beautiful prizes that are being offered now by a company called Droll Yankees. They're giving out bird feeders for weekly winners of the photo contest, and it is free to enter. You don't have to sign up for Feeder Watch to submit a photo, and the photos that people send are just so stunning. They're just gorgeous. Yeah, you can
go to feederwatch.org/birdspotter, bird spotter, and you are eligible, even though it says Droll Yankees. We'll take some Droll Southerners here too. Okay, I mean, if you want to and go to it, because Feeder Watch, that's feederwatch.org. It's got some cool stuff on there. I think really we are all bird watchers, and when I'm in the deer stand, I love to watch
You see more birds than you do deer.
Yeah, that's true.
We all do.
Yeah, and when you're duck hunting, do you see more birds than you see ducks? That's a tough question.
On the bad days,
on the bad days,
on the bad days,
on the bad days, yeah. So how do they get involved in this again, Emma?
Just go to that website, feederwatch.org, and it's really obvious how to sign up. There's a big red button right in the middle of the page.
Yes.
And then we will send a research kit to you when you sign up that has a poster of common feeder birds, a calendar so you can plan out your counts, a handbook that gives you tips and tricks for how to feed birds really effectively. So we try to provide participants with some nice materials to get them started, even if they aren't expert bird watchers. You really don't have to be to sign up for the program and try it.
You don't, and I think that's what, $18?
Yep, it's $18 to sign up.
And $15 if you're a member of the lab members, which you need to be anyway. And find out all about birds. It's just wonderful and everything. Well, Emma, thank you for being on Outdoors Larry Ray. We'll stay in touch. We've got 3 numbers for you now, so we'll try to find you if we ever need you, okay?
Okay, yeah, keep trying one of them.
I sure will. You have a great day, and tell Pat Leonard hello for us, okay? And the Crow Man for sure, Kevin, okay?
I sure will. Thanks so much, Larry.
Thanks, Em. All right, Emma Greig. I don't know a whole lot about birds, but there's a lot of them. But I like to watch them. I've always thought I should have studied, but I've gone to this website, and it's pretty fascinating. Even if you study the ducks, which we do, we study it. I'm not good at identification of ducks. I've gotten better over the years, but I saw some different ducks out west when I went on my trip. We're at Montezuma's Well in Arizona. Now, this well is in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you what. You know what was? It's as big as intercom radio. It's out in the middle of the desert. And Montezuma's castle's down the way. He's the great Indian guy. Anyway, we go to look at the well, and this well is huge. You know what's in the well? Ducks.
What kind of ducks?
I thought they were canvasbacks. It's what they look like, but I don't know. They're western ducks. You're pretty high up looking down in the water, but they found that water, and there was a lot of ducks down there.
Probably the only water around. That makes sense to me.
It is, isn't it? But
I've got water and nobody else does. All the ducks are in my spot.
They're pretty smart critters. They know how to dodge you, but they know how to find water. So I know that we don't need to find whales around here right now. All right, we appreciate Emma Greig from the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we're waiting on our next guest. Should be here. I'm going to go out and check on him, and we'll be right back on ESPN 790.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.